everybody, it's Dr. Joe and the pups, and today I'm going to show you my 5-minute stretching routine for ankle pain. I know, so let's get started. Disclaimer alert, disclaimer alert. And before we get started, if you haven't already, make sure and click on the subscribe button down there so I can see your comments. So since this is a real-time stretching routine, I'm going to do it all in real time, and if you want to follow along with me, you can. So in general, when we're doing stretching routines, you really want to do it for 30 seconds, that 3 times hold. That's what you kind of see me do in my videos, but I get that people sometimes don't have a lot of time throughout the day, and so this 5-minute stretching routine, I'd rather you do a quality amount versus a quantity amount. So we're just going to do a 30-second 2 times, and then we're going to go on from there, and then some of them will just be kind of 30 seconds throughout. So we're going to start off with a 45-second warm-up, and then we'll go into the stretches. So I've got a little app here just to kind of help us follow along with time. So we're just going to start with the warm-up. With the warm-up, all I want you to do is just start off with maybe some ankle pumps, just to kind of get that ankle moving a little bit. So ankle pumps are just kind of going up and down. You've probably heard me talk about these before. I love them because it helps increase the circulation to your legs and just kind of helps with all that movement and prevent fatigue and stuff. But it's a nice way to warm up as well. You can also just kind of go side to side. So it's not my whole leg going side to side. I'm really just doing that movement at my ankle just to get that nice warm up in there. And then you can even just kind of do some circles, a couple one way. Again, really trying to get it at that ankle, and then do a couple the other way. So we're going to get ready to go into the first stretch, which is going to be a calf stretch. And I like using a stretch strap. You can use a dog leash, anything like this. But you can do it sitting in a chair. A lot of times I'm sitting on the floor. You can do it in the bed. Just put this strap kind of at the ball of your foot. Pull your leg out a little bit so your knee is locked out, and then just pull towards you. So I'm getting that stretch in that calf muscle that comes all the way up and crosses my knee too. But that calf muscle has a lot to do with us pushing off on our foot. So when you're pulling it this way, you're really stretching it out, and that has a lot to do with ankle pain. So if you have ankle pain, this is a great stretch to do. So take a little relax, and then we're going to stretch that 30 seconds again. You can do this lying down, you can do it sitting like we're doing, or you can do it standing. There's a whole bunch of different ways to stretch the calf, and I've got a lot of videos where you can see that. So again, you're not pulling your toes up actively. You're using the strap or the belt or the dog leash to pull that up for you. So just getting that nice stretch, getting it feeling like you're really getting it loosened up in there. So we're going to take a little 10-second break to go into the next stretch. And the next stretch is going to be a soleus stretch. The soleus muscle is the one underneath the calf. And so bending your knee helps you get that stretch. So you can still do this sitting down in a chair. Bring your heel back, but keep it on the floor. So not coming up like this. Just go until it feels tight, and then lean into it. And if you can go back a little bit more and get that stretch. So I'm now stretching that soleus because my knee is bent and taking the calf muscle out of it. So the calf, when you're stretching the calf muscles or those gastrocs, you want your knee to be straight. But when you're stretching the soleus, you want to bend that knee a little bit. So stretch it out a little bit and then go back into it. Trying keeping the heel down is the most important part. And this might not look like a lot, but I'm getting that stretch around the ankle and back up into that soleus. Mine, I feel it a little more in the front because my ankle's a little tight, but you should be able to feel it all around there. So it's a really good stretch for the ankle, getting that nice stretch. But again, bending that knee is what takes that calf out of that stretch. So then the next one is just going to be the ABCs. I call these ABCs. So this is kind of a stretch, but just kind of an active range of motion as well. And if you have ankle pain, this really helps. You can put your foot out actively, or if you want to prop it up on a stool, you can. But all you're really doing now is just doing your ABCs. So that A, B, C, you can do your name, you can do sentences, you can say I love PT in there if you want to. But so what I'm doing is trying to get all that movement at the ankle. So it's not my whole leg making the letters, but it's at the ankle, getting that stretch and getting that movement, taking a little break, going right back into it. So as you can see, this isn't really a hold stretch, but the way I'm pulling up and pushing down and really trying to make those letters side to side, that's stretching out that ankle. Here's some pops going on in there, really getting that movement. You can do uppercase, you can do lowercase, you can do cursive if you know cursive. So you can do any of those that you want, but just getting that nice movement in there. So then taking that little 10-second break, and then we're going to go into the anterior tibialis stretch. And so again, this comes down, it has a lot to do with the ankles, it has a lot to do sometimes if you get shin splints. And so this does best sometimes without shoes. So see how I'm pushing my foot down onto the floor with the top of my foot going on the floor. So now I'm feeling this stretch on the front. So that's the biggest movement. You can just move to the side of your chair. You want your toes to be on the floor. You can roll it out to get the outside, the anterior, and you can go in and get those posteriors a little bit as well. But if you want to do the full 30-second stretch with this, you can. If you lean back into it a little bit, you're going to definitely get more of a stretch for that. So just come up, relax a little bit, and go back into it. So again, if you roll it a little bit, that'll get you a little bit more of that anterior if you roll it to the outside. But if you lean back, you're going to get a really good stretch in there. For some people, this might be a little uncomfortable for your toes. So if you want to wear your shoes, you can. But sometimes I found that if I have my shoes on and I stretch my anterior tibialis muscle, sometimes my foot wants to cramp a little bit. So I like doing it without my shoes on. So the last one is going to be for the plantar fascia underneath. And again, this all has to do with ankle pain. So if you have these things going on, it's going to cause pain. I'm just using, this is just a cut up pool noodle, but I'm just going to roll the bottom of my foot where the plantar fascia is there. You can use a bigger foam roll if you want to. You can use a lacrosse ball or a tennis ball just to roll if you want to. And if you actually have some plantar fasciitis where maybe this is like uncomfortable underneath and causing some pain in that ankle, you can freeze a water bottle and then roll your foot on the water bottle. So again, this isn't really like a hold and stretch, though you can. So for the next 30 seconds, if you just want to take where maybe on the arch of your foot, if it's sore there, you can, I'm pushing down into that roll, maybe to go a little bit further down and pushing down in that roll, just really stretching out that plantar fascia. So you don't necessarily have to roll. I feel like sometimes it's a little bit more comfortable to roll, but if you have a specific tender spot, you can take it and just push down. So I'm getting a lot more of my arch when I'm doing it that way. So you can do that either way if you want to. There you have it. That was my 5-minute stretching routine for ankle pain. If you'd like to help support my channel, make sure and click on the link up there. And don't forget to subscribe. Where am I swimming? Yep, down there. And remember, be safe, have fun, and I hope you feel better soon.